Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D. Good evening, Viv.
Good evening, 4G. Good evening, Bronze.
It is Thursday, the 25th of June, 2026, Storm and Teacup episode 70.
The big 7-0.
Yeah, and it probably feels it feels about 70 degrees right now as well, because it's super hot at the moment. We're having in the middle of a heat wave, which is glorious. I love the heat. I love the hot weather. But as is the English tradition, there'll always be people moaning about it.
Yep, it's not that hot. Come on, really? Is it?
Well, supposedly the hottest June day on record, whatever that means. They always chuck these things out, don't they? It's the hottest day ever. It's catastrophe. And no, it's just a really nice summer's day.
Yeah. And long may they continue.
Yeah. So it's great. So no doubt, Viv, you've been taking your shirt off and getting sweaty without even having to assemble any bookcases.
Yeah, I have actually. I'm sitting in shorts here, but we're supposed to wear business attire at work. That's okay. The office is air conditioned, but it's the walk there, half an hour there, half an hour back, and get back, and it's pretty sticky. But it's okay, you know. I stick to the shade. It's all right.
No. But anyway, just a few things about the number 70. A few little facts. The 70th largest island in the world, which also happens to be a country, is Jamaica.
Okay.
Which is 4,320 square miles, the main island.
Wow, really? 4,000 square miles? I didn't realise.
Oh, no, actually, no, that can't be right. 4,000 square miles?
That can't be right. Or I suppose, maybe it is.
Yeah. Well, it's just information that I have copied off a website, so it could be wrong. And also, it's a total area of in the Pacific. There's a group of atolls called the Marshall Islands, and the total area of those is 70 square miles. They are quite well known for Bikini Atoll and the nuclear tests.
That's right.
Which the US did there back in whenever it was, 50s. A cheetah's top speed is approximately 70 miles per hour.
Wow, good boy.
Get out of here, really?
No, yeah, obviously not constant 70 miles an hour, but they have been known to reach 70 miles an hour in bursts. Yes, they are the fastest land animal. They are known as the fastest land animal, I believe, cheetahs.
Yeah. But I was just going to say, do you know what? I thought it was way lower than that. I thought it was something like, because to me, running 50 miles an hour is freaking amazing. So, wow. Yeah. Cheers for that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, a shark's top speed is approximately 70 kilometers per hour, which is about 44 miles per hour. Sharks are pretty nifty as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, through water. Right.
Yeah, in water. Yeah.
Nice.
This one, I don't know. This is, once again, could be complete nonsense, but approximately 70 litres of water are needed to produce just one apple. I've no idea how they worked that one out, but there you go.
Okay.
So I guess they measured how many litres of water they needed to put to feed an apple tree, and then they worked out how many apples it produced, and then did the maths from there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But a totally meaningless piece of information there.
Well, I suppose it isn't quite, because that would explain why you don't get apple trees in hot countries.
Quite possibly, yes. Well, English apples. Yeah, that's one of our fruits, isn't it? The apple in England.
Yep. And the Normandy cider, of course, in the north of Spain where it rains a lot. There's a big cider culture, but you don't get apple trees down. I've never seen one. Maybe there are, but not in the south when it's really hot. No. And dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, cheers.
Okay, following on from the controversy from last week about the smallest strobogrammatic number.
Oh,
We had a-
let me just say, this is because I texted Bronze in the week and said, "Oh, I think you're wrong again." And no, I want to say that I was wrong with what I said to you anyway. So, like, no, you
Oh,
still
really?
stand.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah.
but the thing is, because it's just this website I got that information from, because I said 69 was the smallest strobogrammatic number, and you came back to me and you said, no, it's 11, 11. And I kind of thought, actually, it could be. And so I went online, and it's like some websites say 69 is the smallest, but others say 11 is the smallest. And so,
But
you know,
but the factor that I'd forgotten was at the end you said that isn't a palindrome, but 11 is a
ah,
palindrome. So you
oh,
still
right.
stand. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good. Right. Well, anyway, following on from that, 70 is another crazy little thing. 70 is the smallest weird number.
What
What
does
is a
that
weird
mean?
What
what
does
is a
that mean?
weird number? We will ask.
I don't know.
This is something what's it called? Number theory, or it's some kind of abstract branch of mathematics which deals with numbers. And it's a weird number is a number which I'll try and explain this so it makes sense. If you have all the numbers which divide up into it equally, all right. So for 70, you can have number one, obviously that divides into 70 times. Number two divides into 70 35 times.
Oh,
Number seven divides into 70 10 times. Number 10 divides 7 times, so on and so forth. Okay, so any
wow.
number, any number which equally, fits into 70 exactly, any number of times. All right. These are called, what are these called now? Divisors, proper divisors. Right. Now, a weird number is a number which all of the proper divisors, when they are added up, in any sequence or any one, two, or however many of them added up, do not equal the actual number. Okay, does that make
Give
sense?
me an example of that.
Right. So, okay. So 70. If we take the number 70, right? Its proper divisors are 1, 2, 5, 7, 10, 14, and 35.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you add all those numbers up together, they come to 74.
Oh, 64. Yeah, yeah.
They come to 74. That's no relation to it being a weird number. But if you take any of those numbers and add them up, so 1 and 2, or 2 and 5, or 2, 5, 7, or 1, 10, 14, any combination, and none of them, when you add them up, equal the actual number 70, then makes it a weird number.
Oh,
Okay. I've
all right.
never heard that in maths. Nice.
No,
Right.
no, nor had
Oh,
I. Was it number theory or something like that? So
very good.
there you
Very
go.
good. Yeah, very
It
good.
is the smallest weird number, number
Right.
7.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Excellent.
And just a couple of other things. In the Bible, apparently number 70 represents leadership and human judgment. Examples: Moses appointed 70 elders. The Sanhedrin was made up of 70 men. Jesus chose 70 disciples. Apparently, I've only heard of 12, but that's
Mhm.
my lack of knowledge. And Jesus told Peter that he had to forgive 70 times. So
Mm.
there's
I didn't know any of this. Right.
Mm.
and finally, our favourite atomic number, chemical element with the atomic number 70, is called ytterbium, or ytterbium.
My God, another weird one.
Yeah, which has a symbol YB. There you go. No idea. Never heard of it before. Don't know what it is. So that's your number 70.
It sounds made up.
It probably is.
I'm sure it's not, but you know,
Yeah, I wonder how high these atomic numbers go. These chemical elements now.
we'll find out.
Yeah,
Well,
we will.
see, I'm going to have to. Right, I'm going to have to interject. There's only a certain amount of numbers on the chemical element tree. It's 120. You can't have. You can't have any more. It's all the elements that make our world up. And also, you said something interesting last week, and I was going to pick up on it, and I forgot. But you said, "Oh no, it's not thorium because that would have a higher number." Do you know what the numbers dictate?
Oh, it's some. I think it's to do with the numbers of the elements are composed of electrons, neutrons, and protons, and I think it's something to do with those. I can't remember
Yeah,
now.
it's the density. So when you go to 0, 1 on the periodic tree, you're going to get the likes of your. I'm saying the likes because I don't know what the lightest element is, but it's your sort of carbons, your
I believe hydrogen. I believe hydrogen
That's it.
has the number one, and that hydrogen has one proton, one neutron, one electron. I believe.
Cheers. Right, that's it then. Yeah, and then as you go down, you get heavier, and so the last one on our periodic tree is uranium. Oh no! Sorry, there is denser than uranium, but you've got all of the golds, silvers, uraniums, all the very very heavy elements. So these ones that you're coming up to now, I suppose. These higher number ones, I'm gonna guess that most of them we won't have heard of because there'll be these dense metals and elements that we don't really use in day-to-day life.
Well, yeah, heavy metals. Yeah, I mean the last one, the one last week, I remember reading. Was it last week or the one before? Was a metallic element. So these probably all now are metallic elements on the heavier side of things.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
Cool.
number
Yeah.
70. I can go through a quick thing of events of 1970, unless you want to do your on this day first, 4D.
No, actually, carry on. Yeah, go on. You normally do that. Go on.
All right. Okay. January 1st in Great Britain, the half-crown coin is no longer accepted as legal tender. The
1970.
half-crown, I believe half-crown was the equivalent of 12.5 pence.
It was.
Yes.
It was. Yeah, they gradually phased them out, didn't they? When did decimalisation occur? 72, was it? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it was early 70s. Because I remember the crown. We had the crown, a half crown. We had the shilling and the sixpence. So
Yeah.
a shilling was worth 5 pence, and a sixpence was half a shilling, 2.5 pence.
Yeah.
So half a crown would have been 2 shillings and sixpence.
Yeah.
And of course,
Yeah.
2 half crowns would have been a crown. So yeah.
I remember that. I remember it all actually.
Vaguely remember. Yeah, I remember I remember having a sixpence when it was still legal tender. That was when I was very, very young. So yeah. Anyway, that was half crown coin. Coin is no longer accepted. 1970. January 16th, Muammar Gaddafi takes over the rule of Libya. So he was in power for quite a long time. March 6th, the importation of pets was banned from foreign countries after an outbreak of rabies in
Australia.
Suffolk. In Suffolk.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Typical.
so that might have something to do with the Suffolk mentality. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't quite contain rabies, but I do remember when I was a kid, they used to have these really scary, or they were meant to be scary, public information films. They called them on the BBC about rabies, about bringing animals in from foreign countries because you might have rabies, and it might be really horrible. And there's that. March 12th, the US lowers its voting age from 21 to 18. March 12th, 1970. March 25th, Concorde makes its first supersonic flight, reaching speeds of 700 miles per hour.
Brilliant.
This one, I love this one. April the 3rd, an Englishwoman, Miriam Hargrave, passes her driving test on her 40th attempt.
Wow.
They must have been so sick of her. They must have just go on, take it, go. You passed. Get out of here.
Come on, Miriam. You can do it. Oh no, she hasn't. She hasn't. Oh.
Yeah.
Got a license, crashed the next week, and never drove again.
Probably. I mean, she obviously was not cut out for driving, so she probably ended up not really doing it very much.
Yeah.
Okay, April 7th, the 42nd Academy Awards, the Oscars, Best Picture is Midnight Cowboy.
That's right.
Great film. Yeah, Dustin Hoffman and John Voight. April the 10th, Paul McCartney announces he's leaving the Beatles, and Let It Be was to be their final album. April the 13th, the famous "Okay, Houston, we have had a problem here" is announced from the Apollo 13 mission.
Yep.
Anyone who's seen the film Apollo 13 will know all about that. April 22nd, the first Earth Day is celebrated, founded by someone called Gaylord Nelson. I do not have to question anyone who names their kid Gaylord, but there you go.
Shouldn't think that happens much nowadays.
No. April 26th, the current First Lady of the US, Melania Trump, is born. June 18th, the Conservative Party in the UK wins the general election, making Edward Heath the new Prime Minister of the UK. Edward Heath, a lot of conspiracy shit surrounding that guy.
Morning cloud.
Yeah.
Don't get on the boat. People on the Isle of Wight were told, don't go on Edward Heath's boat, boys.
Yeah, David Icke has got some interesting things that he's mentioned about Edward Heath as well.
Yeah.
But yes, possible kiddie fiddler, that one, allegedly. And possible shape-shifting lizard as well, according to David Icke. September the 18th, Jimi Hendrix is found dead in Kensington, London after an overdose, but yeah, he died.
Age 27.
I was going to say that. Yeah.
The day after, September 19th, was the first ever Glastonbury Festival.
Yep.
And talking of 27, October 4th, singer Janis Joplin dies from a drugs overdose as well, age 27.
Yeah.
Funny old thing, all these people that strangely die at 27.
Yeah, they call it the 27 Club, don't they? Jim Morrison was another. Amy Winehouse was another. There may well have been others that I can't quite remember.
Oh, there's loads. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Keith wrote a book about what's it called? The Conspiracy Against Rock. Oh, I can't remember. But anyway, he mentions all of that. There's loads of 27 Club members.
Yeah. That's a shame. There you go. November 4th, this one's quite a weird one. A 13-year-old girl named Jeannie is found in Los Angeles, having been locked in a bedroom by her father for most of her life.
Whoa.
Yeah. So a 13-year-old girl has that is her whole life, has been her bedroom, basically.
Oh my God.
Why a father would do that is just beyond me. But yeah, crazy.
He did it to protect her.
Yeah, from what?
From the sins of the world, just as we're being protected and we'll be locked in. To protect us. Protect us by Big Daddy State, who loves us.
Yeah. Okay, November 17th, American engineer Douglas Engelbart receives a patent for inventing the very first computer mouse. So if you're using a computer mouse right now, that was when it was first patented, in 1970.
Amazing.
A couple more. November 18th, chemist Linus Pauling declared that large doses of vitamin C might prevent or decrease the intensity of the common cold. I would say that's pretty accurate. I would say that it could actually probably do a lot more than that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Allegedly, vitamin C is incredible. Some have even speculated that it might actually help prevent cancer. Allegedly.
Yeah.
And last and probably least, December 16th, the highest grossing film of 1970 is released in the US, and that film is Love Story.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, he dies. Sorry.
Oh.
I don't know the film, nor have I heard of it. So,
Well, it's a film about a love of two people falling in love. So really, what what are you going to expect? Not a lot from that, really. Um, it's a chick flick, basically.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so Ryan O'Neal, Ali McGraw, love story. It was very famous at the time. I think I did watch it once when I was young. It was on TV and didn't interest me at all, so I didn't really pay much attention to it. But yeah, so Viv, you're probably the biggest film buff amongst us. You might have something more to say of that.
I haven't seen it. I've deliberately avoided it because it sounds a bit schmaltzy. It might be nice. I mean, my favourite love story. That it's an absolutely beautiful film, and I've forgotten the name, but it's about two young children, probably about 13, 14. They're very innocent and they do fall in love, but it's very innocent as well. It's a really popular film in Japan. It's one of the most cheerful films, uplifting films you'll ever see. But I wish I could remember the name, and I can't.
Is that good? Yeah, so you're probably bang on about Love Story being very schmaltzy. 1970, it's not going to have any modern edginess to it. It's going to be of its time, and it's going to be about boy meets girl, boy and girl fall in love, and that's kind of it, really. What's that film going to be about? Nothing much.
The film I'm thinking of was it's about 68. I think it's an English film. Yeah,
right.
It's all set in London. It's very atmospheric. It's really popular in Japan, and it's the name escapes me.
Okay, all right. Oh yeah, there you go. Capsule review of 1970.
Yeah,
nice. Couple of notable ones for this day in history. We all know about 1066, but did you know that in this day in history, in 1266, the siege of Kenilworth Castle begins by forces of King Henry III, and at 172 days, it is one of the longest sieges in English medieval history.
Wow.
Imagine being at siege for 172 days.
Absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? That's probably somewhere around 6 months. So you're camped there for 6 months, more or less.
No food getting in, no water getting in, nothing getting in, and actually under siege for that amount of time. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Hellish.
Yeah, and I'd see modern people undergo that kind of drama.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty horrific hearing about what happened to Leningrad in the Second World War.
God, yeah.
What they went through with the Germans besieged Leningrad, didn't they? Pretty desperate. But they had like a horrific Russian winter to survive. So where is Kenilworth? Is that somewhere? Is that in Bedfordshire? Is that somewhere?
Warwickshire.
Warwickshire.
Mm-hmm.
Another old one.
But that would have been what some upstart barons sort of not doing what the king wanted them to do, or something like that, defying the king's rule.
I'll be honest with you. I looked nothing. I didn't even look into it, so I couldn't tell you. I just got that bit.
Right. Okay.
The next one, quite a big one in British history. This day in history, in 1483. The House of Lords and Commons declares King Edward V of England as illegitimate based on his parents' alleged bigamous marriage. And so that's the famous story of the two twins in the tower and with the evil uncle. What was his something the third? Richard? No.
Yeah, it was Richard III, wasn't it? It was Richard.
Oh yeah, it might have been. Cheers.
It was.
Yeah. Basically, Richard III was the uncle, and he basically thought, like they're youngsters. If I'll throw them in the fucking tower, I'll get legitimacy, and I'll take over the king. Yeah. Next one. Oh, I've lost my place. Oh, right. So the next day, this day in history, in 1646, Thomas Fairfax's new model army enters Oxford after
Yeah,
the royalist capital surrenders, ending the city's role as King Charles I's wartime headquarters.
yeah, that's right. It was the end, really, basically.
Right, right.
Were they Roundheads? Were they the New Model Army? They had something to do with Cromwell, didn't they? They were
Yeah, yeah,
affiliated.
yeah, yeah. It was they were parliamentarian forces. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Who
Yeah.
eventually, prevailed for a while at least. Um, sorry to go back to Kenilworth. It's the Barons' War. It was called it was another civil war. Barons rose up against some king. I can't remember. Yeah, it's a civil war.
Oh, the Henry III siege of Kenilworth. Right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, another one. This day in history, 1942. British RAF stages a 1,000 bomb raid on Bremen, Germany during the Second World War.
Yep.
Another dark day for most people. War is dark anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, that's quite famous, wasn't it? Was it the first 1,000 bomber raid?
I believe of that scale, I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely
It's
devastating to as we can appreciate, there's civilians have nothing to do with a war, but
Totally well said.
yeah, and also to a certain extent, neither do some of the combatants. There was a big furore about the Bomber Command memorial that they erected a few years back now in London, Hyde Park Corner. There's a lot of controversy about it because of the all the bombing raids they did on Germany, and which I thought was quite a shame because those bomber crews were, I mean, it was war, and they were following orders. They would take, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, you could say what they were doing was unethical or whatever, but at the same time, it's
Even
quite.
even at the time, Bomber Harris was questioned by the public, by a number of people. Saying, "Really, is this necessary? Do we have to be as bad as the Germans who had started this whole idea? Bombing civilians in the Second War.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, we suffered the Blitz here, didn't we? Before we were really bombing them, and I think Bomber Harris, he came out with that famous quote: "They have sowed the wind, and now they're going to reap the whirlwind."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tit for tat, isn't it? Really, tit for tat.
Yeah, and I think he really kind of had this thing in his head about the being able to win a war just through aerial bombing, and he really kind of had a bit of a point to prove.
Yeah, definitely. He believed that demoralisation of the German population would lead to them turning against the NSDAP, the Nazi regime. Yeah, that's what he thought. Didn't happen.
No, that never happens. The whole demoralisation argument, time and time again, you hear that as an excuse, and it's never ever worked. It's never happened.
No,
but yeah, I mean, also another quote from Bomber Harris was, well, they say that bombing alone cannot win a war, and I say to them, nobody's ever tried it. So he was intent on trying to do it, and of course the culmination of all that. I mean, a lot of them were legitimate targets. They were targeting the German war effort factories and so on and so forth. But it culminated in the firebombing of Dresden, which was probably the low point of it all. That was very questionable. How much difference that actually made?
Certainly from the Allied side, that was pretty bad, actually.
Well, they reckoned that it was because Stalin was putting pressure on the Allies, and they bombed it because it was Dresden was a transport hub for a lot of troops moving out to the Eastern Front. And so it was kind of Stalin pressuring the Allies to bomb it, to disrupt all the German troop movements. But it was full of POWs. It was full of Allied POWs, and it was apparently a beautiful city as well. And
but you know what? And the difference between the reconstructed Germany, the so-called what's it called? I can't remember the German word. But I just wonder. Anyway, Reconstruction in the 50s, and they rebuilt Dresden in the medieval style, which is a big contrast to what they did in the UK when they built using modernist techniques. Dresden was built back, basically reconstructed the medieval origins of the city.
Mm.
Right,
But
yeah.
it wasn't reconstructed to its former glory, though, was it? It was surely
No,
that was,
but you know,
yeah.
I mean, but yeah.
Very good,
No.
very good. A very famous book on the subject. I know you've read it, Viv, and 4D. You probably won't and will never read it for your dyslexia. But Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut is all about he was actually a POW in Dresden during the war when it was firebombed, and he survived it. And it's a crazy book. It's all over the place. It's not really a straightforward account. It's quite funny and quite crazy, but it's basically based on that. So
Yeah. But
Well, yeah, from that disastrous thing, we go all the way up to 1997. This day in history, Christie's auctions off some of the wardrobe of Diana, Princess of Wales, for 5.5 million.
wow, when was that? What year?
That was in 1997.
Wow. Okay.
blimey.
1997. Just what? Just the wardrobe, or did it have her clothes in it as well?
yeah.
Was it
Well,
just
and
a
actually,
wooden?
that was only some of her wardrobe.
Right. Yeah.
And then lastly, I don't normally bother with births or deaths unless they're interesting, and I think for the three of us is very interesting. Born this day in history in 1903 was our fellow George Orwell.
Hey.
1903 to 1950.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So wow. So he didn't last too much longer after he finished 1984. Then.
No, he didn't. No.
Wow.
Probably very angry with him.
He wrote
Probably-
1984. He wrote 1984. Well, it was published anyway in 1948. No, he wrote it in 1948 and reversed the last two numbers.
That's right. Yeah. They probably.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why he chose 1984. Yeah, but they probably knocked him off. They probably scrubbed him. They thought, oh, can't be having this.
He knows our plan, he does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's published in 48 and he died in 1950. What did you say? 50?
1950.
1950. Wow. Okay, so
Yeah,
very soon.
yeah.
Very soon after he wrote that. Yeah. Oh,
There you go.
yeah.
Born in British India, just throwing that in there as well, just because I saw
He was.
He was a socialist as well, wasn't he? I mean, quite remarkable.
Yeah.
But there's speaking of, there's this story I heard today about this left-wing Danish minister who wants to ban the Islamic call to prayer in Denmark because he doesn't want it sounding like downtown Islamabad in Denmark, which for a left-wing politician is really quite unusual.
Yeah, there are a few. I mean, over here we have people like, what's the fire brigade union person? Paul Embry. Yeah, there are a few. And I mean, George Galloway, to give him credit, is, has said some interesting things. But yeah, I think what we need to do is differentiate between actual old school leftists and the more modern liberals who have taken over the left, basically, and they're not really the old left, which was for workers' rights, etc., better pay, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're not common sense leftists anymore, are they? They're just been captured by these progressive idiots.
Yeah, the whole progressivism, which is a part of left-wing thought, in the sense that the old school left wants to make things better. But the whole idea of progressivism it's much more of a liberal thing, really. The idea that things continually get better and better and better, even when the evidence of their own eyes fails them, unfortunately. Because
Yeah.
it's getting shitter and shitter, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it was the part that what was it? It was the party's most vital and important command.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you should not believe the evidence of your own eyes.
Exactly. That's why I quoted that.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Oh, I suppose we should just touch on the results of Makerfield, which we kind of didn't have last week when we spoke, but we do have now.
Yep.
We have had a week to digest it all.
Yep.
Mm.
So
Interesting, wasn't it?
So what do you reckon? Who wants to go first?
Foddy, you want to kick
I
off?
suppose I was the furthest out from what happened. So yeah, let me get over and done with. And I did say it was a pipe dream, but I did genuinely believe that it was going to be different. I still stand by. I think it's a victory. They're only 4 months old or whatever it is, and to get what was it, 7%, 8%.
10%'s pretty good, really.
Yeah,
Let's be
I
honest.
think that's a respectable thing. And hey, they beat, if you want to be technical, they beat Conservatives, and they beat the Greens, and they beat Binhead. So, but for me, so that I'm keeping it short, my biggest problem with it was how many people voted for Burnham. So I'll leave my little rant as that little bit. I'm glad what happened for Restore Britain, but I get so worried about our country and how many people are going to help us.
Turnout was above the previous turnout. It was 10% above the previous turnout. So more people did turn out, and you were right there. It's a question of who voted for Burnham and why they voted for him. A number of people appear to have voted for him, as Richard Tice suggested, simply to get Starmer out. But I don't think that's good enough, really, because Burnham is going to be a similar managerial figure. He's going to continue the Agenda 2030 set by his globalist overlords. He's going to continue with the untrammeled, uncontrolled immigration, both legal and illegal. Illegal, you say? Yeah, people breaking into the country on rubber dinghies led by gangmasters who are carrying a cargo of some of whom are trafficked slaves. That doesn't sound very compassionate. But anyway, he will carry on. He will carry on. I believe also that, Miri AF says something. She reckons that Burnham will call a general election. It will go to reform. I don't know. I think that because Burnham lacks a certain amount of legitimacy, and the mainstream media have pointed this out. They're calling this a coronation rather than an exchange of leadership from Starmer to Burnham. The fact is that we don't get to vote on the Prime Minister. We get to vote on the party. If the party changes the Prime Minister, of which we've had 7 in the past decade, so it's stable, isn't it? You don't have to vote. We don't get a vote on who's the Prime Minister. Is anyone there? Is anyone there? Oh yeah. So, my view is that he does need to legitimise his regime, but it's going to take a while. Actually, I underestimated how long it takes. It's going to go through a process of selection, of course, leading to coronation of the so-called King of the North, Andy Burnham, as the UK Prime Minister. What he does after that, I don't know. I think he has a window when people are riding on a bit more positivity, because most people treat politics as a kind of entertainment. So they think, oh, God, wow, there's another new person in Big Brother or Love Island or whatever. Oh, wow, I'll vote for him because he's really fun. He's really interesting, but knowing nothing about them. They will find out. They will be disabused by Burnham's actions, which will be on the same disastrous course that Starmer set if he set a course at all.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everyone seems to have this idea of Burnham being something special when he's absolutely not. I think there is something to the point of people voting in Makerfield for Burnham to get rid of Starmer. I do think there is something to that, and that is obviously something that Reform will fall back on as an excuse because they did pretty badly by their own metric. And all of the votes on the right, shall we say, Reform, Restore, and Conservatives, add them all up, they still would not have been enough together to beat Burnham. So that completely wipes out the split in the vote argument. That's gone. That's dead in the water. I think another factor is that that constituency is a strong. It's a Labour stronghold. It always has been. So there's going to be a lot of dyed in the wool Labour voters there to start with. I think also Reform, it kind of Reform, it put them in a really weird position because it's kind of showing that maybe some of their support is flagging a bit, and also they kind of seem to be in a position of they wanted a vote for them. It ended up being, if you voted for Reform and Reform won, so Burnham didn't get in, that would have meant that Starmer would have stayed, right? So a vote for Reform was actually turned out to be a vote for Starmer to stay as a PM, which was kind of ludicrous at the end of the day. Yeah. Now, I mean, yes, Burnham now has a clear shot. He's won. He's got a clear shot at taking over the PM. He's obviously going to do it. And I think that it's kind of, I think he's got to call a general election sooner or later for like you said, Viv, for legitimacy, because everybody is now going to be going at him. You don't have a mandate from the British people. Anything he tries to do which is unpopular, that's always going to be the criticism. So he's got to go to the people at some point. And I kind of think he's either got to do it really early because quite possibly Reform and Restore and all the rest of them won't be prepared to stand in general election. They won't be ready. Restore certainly won't be ready. I don't even think Reform will be quite ready. The Conservatives probably be the best place, but just because they're so well established. So it might be in his favour to go early, or just to wait and hopefully he can do something with some kind of popularity boost, and then go for it on the back of that a bit further down the road. But I kind of agree. I still think that overall Labour are too damaged now. So if he does call an election, it's like what I've said before. I think Reform will probably win. They won't have an outright majority, so they will be forced to do a coalition with somebody. And funnily enough, Kemi Badenoch, or Badenoch, whatever, the Conservative leader, I just heard her today on the radio when she was asked about a possible coalition with Reform, and she absolutely said no, absolutely not. No way there's going to be a coalition with Reform. So it's really kind of, shaping up to be quite an interesting couple of years we've got coming up now. And I think he's going to be disastrous. Quite frankly.
Oh yeah, of course he is.
He's going to be no better than Starmer. England football fans are already singing Andy Burnham's a wanker. The nicknames are already coming out. The slogans, it's we've said bye-bye to 2-year Keir, and now we're saying hello to Andy Crash and Burnham, and it's probably going to be just more of the same, if not worse.
Crash and Burnham. I mean, essentially, Labour has set out a timetable for electing a new party leader. And it does look like he could Crash and Burnham could be Prime Minister in less than a month if he's the only MP to enter the race. Okay, he needs 81 MPs to back him, and he will be in. And so again, my intimation, my guess that he would call a general election in 6 months. In 6 weeks. It still stands. I think he'll call a general election in 6 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
as soon as he assumes the PM position, you think he'll then go for an election straight away? Yeah.
It's the most logical thing. It really is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Crazy,
That'll be very interesting.
Very interesting indeed. As I say, Miri AF, who I agree with in some points, but she did go a bit over the top. She reckons it's to get a reform government in so that they can then institute Agenda 2030. She considers them to be closet globalists.
Well, they're controlled opposition, so they're involved. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they are accepted by the establishment now. You have establishment outlets supporting them. You have a lot of the former right wing, conservative supporting newspapers who now support reform. You now have GB News and Talk TV who are out and out propaganda platforms for reform. That they are kind of embedded in the establishment, and if they do that. They're going to have hell to pay because there's so many people who are invested in them who are going to go, what the hell, who are going to feel completely betrayed.
Yep, absolutely. We have to remember that that reform is also composed of an awful lot of the old school Labour people, the so-called Red Wall. So it's not just disaffected Conservatives; it's also Labour. Voters, that is. So we should say, I think you're right. They'll feel so betrayed if they do go ahead. But we've got 4 years to go. Well, 3.5, huh?
Well, maybe 6 months to an election. If he calls an election in 6 weeks, did you say? Sorry. So that would be for when? Next year? An election for next year, next summer? Or
don't quite know the timetable exactly. I don't know how that would pan out. I don't know.
Yeah, Miri AF is always really a little bit too far out there for me. She says some interesting things, I think, but to actually sort of get behind everything she says 100% is a step too far a lot of the times.
I see Father Calvin Robbins. I just wanted to interject quickly to say that Father Calvin Robinson is taking GB News to court, suing them, isn't he?
And
apparently it's a big case, so that might finish them off. And I just also wanted to say that things have changed so much, but I see a lot of people are talking about the Masonic handshake that went on with No Stern Burnham and the House Speaker. I don't know if you guys are aware of that going around.
I saw that, Lindsay Hoyle. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a definite. And do you know what? Funnily enough, again going back to the Q thing, they released like a handbook of the Masonic handshakes, and I noticed that one of the things I'd watched was literally one of the cards that came out during the Q years about look out for these handshakes. So I'm sure they've already worked out which level both of them are at just by their handshake. These evil people are so stupid; they don't even realise how many people are onto it now.
Yeah, but they have to show it. It's called revelation of the method.
Power.
Yeah, essentially they have to show it. Like the vampires. I've often used the analogy of the vampire being invited into the home. They have to show their evil intent, and you have to accept it. But we have a zombie government, and we will have for quite a few weeks until Burnham is crowned as the new king. When and if he calls an election, I do not know, but my spider senses are telling me that he really has to do this. Otherwise, he's going to face brickbats for months and years and years. Really,
well,
illegitimate crowned, leader rather than elected. Despite the fact, as I said earlier, that we don't in this country we don't elect the prime minister.
No. Yeah.
No. I think it's quite possible that he will believe his own PR because he's going to be surrounded by people telling him how brilliant he is, how wonderful he is. He's going to be reading all the press, especially the liberal woke press, they're all gushing about him. You know, the King of the North and how wonderful he is and what a great job he did in Manchester, how everybody loves him. And he's going to be believing that, you know, because he's in the Westminster bubble. So he may just think I can do no wrong right now. So yeah, let's go for an election. And he's quite possibly going to be in for a rude awakening.
Yep.
But it was very funny. Of course, Trump was asked about him, and and he was hilariously he put him down hilariously as he would do. He called him a mayor of a town. I think he was. Yeah, I don't know much about him. He's a mayor of a town, and he's really, what do you call him? Extra, very very liberal or something. And then I think it was Bev Turner from GB News asked him, you know, would you when he's sworn in as prime minister, would you like him to be the first person to come and visit you? And Trump just went no.
But scarily he said, I don't think it's long before Britain is a bankrupt country, and that worried me, that part of the speech, because again I think he knows what's going to come. And
of course. We all know.
Well, yeah, but that's a big one. If we go bankrupt, you know, it really is third world stuff ahead.
No, it isn't.
I think we've got to do that. I think that's got to happen. To be honest with you, I think that's what's got to happen. Unfortunately,
it's what they're planning. This is on the plan. It's on the plan.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and looking at, I don't know what city it was, but where the Muslims all came out recently, like. Again, the battle ahead is really dangerous. You know, we got a real. A lot of people have been saying for ages the whole civil war aspect, and I know three of us have talked about it for ages. But yeah, it's scary what's coming.
Well, I would have thought, Fordy, that you would have been heartened, especially by what's been coming out of the White House social media over the last week.
I am, and yeah, we'll definitely get into that. But as I always said. The hard thing about the whole Q thing is that that's for America, and I realise that I live in the country that has caused a lot of the problems. So it's still worrying.
It's not just for America. It's not just for America. Come on,
it's for the world, of course. Yeah, true. Well done for pointing that out. Yeah. But what I mean is, you know, it's definitely a little bit harder as a British guy to be so happy at what Q has said is going to happen, because I think, you know, my life will get worse because of it. But good things have to, you know, day is darkest before the dawn and all that. So yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's I think it's just proven that because I mean I've watched a few. People talking about what's been going on. I mean, basically, the White House X account has been openly posting Q stuff, openly, but they've been doing it under the guise of quantum. They've been calling it quantum, this quantum computing thing. Like Trump signed a couple of executive orders related to quantum computing. White House is putting out all of this Q stuff. I mean, they even said where we go one, we go quantum. You know, they were kind of putting everything was Q, but then framed the Q as being related to this quantum computing thing. And it's just as we mentioned the guys from DEFCON 0, Josh Reed, right? And people say, you know, is Q gonna, because there was a thing that somebody posted something on the boards under Q. It turned out just to be a test. It wasn't Q. Got everybody really excited. And then it was deleted. And people are saying, so is Q going to start posting? Is Q coming back? Is Q coming back? And it's like, Q never went away. Q's been there all the time, but now it doesn't need to post on the boards anymore because it's mainstream now. Q stuff is being posted through White House official White House social media accounts.
And the Ministry of Defense, the White House, the Pentagon. One of them was, it's time to start Q posting. You've already mentioned the other one, where we go one, we go quantum. It's very, very interesting. You've also got at the same time the Strait of Hormuz has been peace treaty signed, and no ship is going to have any tariffs put on it, and all this, that, and the other. What was it? The other big thing I was thinking. What was it? Well, the whole. I don't know if you're aware, but Fauci is again pretty much openly now. They're saying COVID was a hoax, and they want. Or have they already started questioning Fauci? Either way, or they're going to start questioning him. I think he's up for the chopper pretty soon.
I think he is. Yeah, he's been summoned, whatever they call it, subpoenaed or indicted or whatever it is. Yeah, his time is coming. I think that all came through Tulsi Gabbard, didn't it? She released a lot of information because she's resigning her position because apparently to care for her husband who's got cancer. So she's standing down as DNI, but just before she left, she just came out and released all this information, and a lot of it is just killer stuff.
Yeah, wait until she resigned and then let it. Again, there's so many games and stuff being played, but considering Q hasn't posted since the 27th of November 2022, and you tickled on it. Like I was actually watching a live show, Red Pill 78. Because of all the things that the White House and things were doing, he wanted to talk about it, and he gets very excited. That's why I like watching him, actually. And he was actually talking about all that stuff happening when his alarm went off, and he said, oh my God, Q's posted, and got really excited about it, went over, and there was a post there. But it turned out that it was the administrative team of that particular website just checking it still worked, which to me is just as exciting anyway, because that website has been dormant since 2022. But the quantum computing, the fact that there's still timestamps coming up and happening, it's very exciting and strange. And I was told that today something massive is going to get released, so I've had my little Q page open on the off chance it was that. But I think something is possibly going to happen. For us, it'd be late tonight, America's afternoon. So yeah.
Okay.
Things continue to simmer away. Things are simmering away. But like you say, I mean, you bring it down to just sort of our day-to-day existence. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon for us, and it is so it is a little bit kind of
it is, and like quantum computing. Just to very very briefly go into it, with all the things that happened with Q, I've always said there was two things that I find very hard to come to terms with. One is the idea of a one God that created me, and the other one is time travel. It doesn't sit with me. It's too fantastic. When you delve down the ideas of quantum computing, it gets really fucking interesting, because when you've got this level of quantum computing that can analyze thought processes, what's the word I'm trying to? They can work out the future based on the millions of us that it's been connected to for the last 10 years, and knowing how human and like to the point, for instance, that their computers could now, if I was in charge of it all, I could say, right, I want Bronze to execute himself, and they would know exactly the types of things to send to him, the types of things to do, because they know roughly what his action plans are for particular ways of life. So all I'm trying to get to this in a reasonable way of saying time travel, or the concept of being able to read the future. Now I'm a little bit interested, because I don't believe in time travel, but the idea of being able to read the future and thus sort of having a control over time. Now I'm a bit frightened and worried, and I was looking into quantum computer, and I think I said to you guys, maybe that's the point. I've always thought Q was a computer, and maybe that's it. It was the first quantum computer, and they've already got us. You could go the other way, but as we were saying, it's going to be the freedom of us. But very interesting, guys, with predicting the future.
Yeah,
I've always thought that Q was essentially a supercomputer stroke AI anyway. But yeah, I mean, I know you're talking about predicting trends by studying um,
Yeah,
studying pretty much everything that's out there, and and making predictions based on that, which for the most part can be very accurate. It's all about probabilities and possibilities, but
mm.
also the whole idea of quantum. I mean, quantum is basically a realm of reality. I first came across quantum when I was reading about the quantum physics,
Yeah,
which started
yeah,
to be discovered at the turn of the 20th century. The Einsteinian, Max Planck, Einstein, Schrodinger, all of those lot, and they discovered this realm of physics which exists below. It's like the subatomic world, and they
yeah,
found
yeah.
that the things we take for granted in this world we live in, the properties, including the properties of time, don't exist in
That's
that
right.
world. They're
Yeah, that's
completely
right.
different.
Yeah.
So, in a sense, time travel, in the quantum sense, is very possible, I believe, because you're
Hmm.
dealing in a completely different realm where time does not
Yeah.
work the way it does in the realm that we live in here.
Essentially, quantum computers, well, they basically work really quickly, and they don't necessarily use. They use a combination of something which I forget, plus the traditional computers which use a combination of zeros and ones. Quantum just means something you can count. So it refers to super fast and
Well,
computing.
actually, I'm going to favour bronze here on this one because have you ever looked? See, again, this is really interesting. Have you ever looked at a chip under a microscope?
Yeah,
We're talking, in my in my opinion, unhumanly made circuit boards that are so small. So going back to the quantum realm being a very small place, um, I'd love to know when you look at a chip from 1980. Under the microscope, it's already very, very, very small. So I don't understand how the heck we make chips today that are like 50 times, 100 times more precise than the chips that were made in the 80s. How
yeah,
small have they managed to go? And going on from what Bronze was saying, also if you're a fan of the Marvel world, there's a character called Ant-Man who famously goes as small as an ant and saves the world in that row. But he goes into the quantum realm, and it's all about how time travel is absolutely a thing because time doesn't exist down there, gravity doesn't exist, magnetism doesn't exist down there, and that it's completely different. It's a and I appreciate I'm going a bit crazy with Ant-Man and stuff like that. I'm just sort of saying that in this quantum world, I'm very interested at how they've made. Well, they call it quantum, and the chips are made so small. It's unbelievable.
yeah, yeah. It's just very, very fast and simultaneous. But it allows for just much faster calculations than the traditional computers because it's using different methods combined with the older methods. So zeros and ones combined with other methods of calculations.
Yeah, but we're also talking about an electrical circuit that's made so small that you need a microscope, to see the actual channels. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
I think.
that's standard with computers. Though they've been decreasing in size since the early IBM computers, which filled a whole room. Now you've got a computer which is more powerful that you call a telephone.
Well, I think it actually it probably operates on a different set of physical laws because that is kind of what separates. I mean, we live in the world we live in is we live by the Newtonian laws, which everything makes sense, everything works at this level. But when you go subatomic, Newtonian laws don't apply anymore.
Mm.
There's a whole new set of physical laws when they
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to examine stuff on a subatomic level and they apply the Newtonian laws of physics, they just get gibberish answers. It doesn't work. So then there's a whole different level of physical laws which operate at that level, and I think that is kind of what quantum computing is involved in. And part of that is the nature of time. It's completely different to what we understand it on this level. When you get
Yeah,
into that,
yeah,
it's
understood. Yeah. Essentially, what we're talking about is a different sort of computing that is very, very fast calculations, much faster than traditional computers.
yeah. I think it's more than that, Bib. Though I think it's a
Yeah,
bit
I
more.
think it's possibly more than that. It maybe again on those fringe sort of conspiracy theories. Maybe we have entered another dimension. Maybe the AI computer can go into a realm that we can't perceive yet. And because my point about the chips was, my point is who's making those chips? We don't have fine enough tools to achieve what they've achieved on those chips.
That makes me think of nanotechnology. Apparently nanotechnology is up and running these days.
Yeah. But don't get the idea. Don't get the idea that AI is clever. It's not. It needs to be programmed. It learns itself, but
Of course.
but I mean there are thousands, if not many, many, many more thousands of people working in places like India and Africa who have to program AI. And they have to teach you things.
All you really need to do is I mean, I don't think you obviously need skills and knowledge to be able to, garbage in, garbage out is kind of the statement when it comes to stuff like that. But all it requires is someone to be able to instruct AI in the correct way to get the required results.
Yeah,
and
that's that's right. Yeah.
So it's all it is knowing how to instruct AI. And I don't think telling it what you want it to do is not the difficult part. It's actually structuring it in a certain way so you get out of it what you want. And all it is basically analyze trends and tell me the most likely outcomes.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. They need to program the AI in order to recognize things that exist in the real world. So to program a self-driving car, you have to program. In order to create a self-driving car, you have to program it. You have to program the route. People, before the car drives, a driver takes it along a particular route. And then afterwards, he inputs the data for the route. In order to tell AI what the difference between land and sea and sky and a dolphin is and ice, it has to tell it. I mean, people in India, Africa, all that are watching things like pictures of dolphins, and they're telling AI what a dolphin is, what it looks like, it lives in water, etc. People are being employed at low wage to watch films of child abuse, to tell AI what to recognize when it analyzes imagery of child abuse and all imagery. It's often about imagery. Really, it completely understands what it's already got, which is basic corpus. So it understands the corpus. If you want to ask him how many times the words king appear in the works of Shakespeare, it can do that. But in the real world, it needs to be programmed. It won't recognize it otherwise.
Yeah, no, I accept that. I mean, maybe I was being a bit too oversimplifying it when I said just analyze trends and then predict it. But it obviously needs the information, and that is quite a colossal undertaking. But once it has the information, it's very easy to tell it what you want out of it.
Yeah.
It's a very straight, simple command. Tell us, from what the information and the data you've been given, tell us what is the likeliest outcome in the next 15, 20 years with regards to X, Y, Z or whatever. So
sure.
That's kind of what it boils down to, I think.
Well, yeah, and also, but so Viv's sort of saying that you couldn't have a self-driving car teach it. Sorry, Viv's saying you couldn't have an AI computer and say to the AI computer, "I want you now to become a self-driving car." You couldn't get the AI to do that. You'd need to program it some parameters. This is a road. This.
Yeah.
I think that's slightly wrong because they're now using AI where they say, right, here's a game of Connect 4. The AI doesn't understand Connect 4. It's never seen Connect 4. It doesn't understand games. And it's not Connect 4. It's actually a computer game. They've started to get AI to learn how to play computer games.
Yeah, of course.
So there is an element. You're totally right in as much as it's an inanimate object. It has no purpose, desires, or anything like that. But it's still, I think we've had this conversation before. That's all you do with a child is you show them, look, that's a bird, and that's a house, and that's a window. After
that's
time,
right.
they pick it up. But there comes a time when that child sort of walks away from you and starts learning its own shit. And we encourage that. And I'm worried, I get very worried that that's what's happened with AI is it's kind of gone, cheers for all that. Now we still sort of control it. I get you, but it's a worry in place.
AI will never have the spark of creativity that humanity has. It will always lack that because it's not human. We can create something out of nothing because we have that kind of connection to something, some higher, something beyond us where we.
But isn't that the scary thing? That's the point.
But they don't. But AI doesn't. So AI will only be able to create things out of what it already has.
So I get worried it'd be able to control us, but without a value and a god or whatever you want to give it, it would just do the most logical thing, which when I think about it is pretty bad for all of us.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But
as long as you understand its limitations, then you'll always be able to beat it. That's all.
Yeah, there are new robots on the market now for $4,000. They promise to do your housework. They can do all sorts of things. They can do your laundry, blah blah. But when you buy one of these things, you have to tell it. You have to show it. You have to program it.
That's what they tell us. Yeah, that's what they tell us. That's what worries me.
Well, it's not what they tell us. It's what the robot does. The robot stands by the washing machine and it watches you and it analyzes what you're doing in order to replicate your actions in another machine, and it can then
You're going to have to constantly, in that scenario, I would guess you'd have to constantly babysit that robot. It can watch you load your washing machine with clothes and put the detergent in and switch it on. But what about all of the other things that it might do in the process of doing that? It might knock something off a table. It might break something. It might put the wrong thing in. So you're going to have to constantly be watching it to see every time it does something wrong. So no, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I think you guys are underestimating what's possible already, let alone what they haven't told us.
Well, I work with AI and it's not there yet. It really isn't.
No, it's not there yet. It's not. I mean, there are driverless cars. They already have them in the US in some cities, and they are in London. They are.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Not all that shit. Not the stuff we work with. That's just, we all know they don't tell us what they. I mean the military grade stuff or the Pentagon grade stuff that will be, or as I say, this Q computer perhaps. I think it's way more advanced than needing a babysitter.
It is, but AI is not necessarily a functioning physical robot that can do your housework for you. I think they're two different things. AI is a thing which you can maybe command through typing stuff in a keyboard on a screen, whereas an actual physical robot that you want to do physical things is a whole different ballgame. Because
it would only have to go through the internet, get to a car manufacturing plant, turn the plant on, make a body. I know, again, I know I'm being absolutely sci-fi here, but I genuinely don't think it's that pie in the sky once you've got a semi-thinking thing.
Yeah, but you're going to have to. It'll be like looking after a young baby 24/7. You'll have to chaperone it. If you've got that thing going around your house, there's so much damage and things that it can do. You're going to have to keep an eye on it all the time because it might do this, it might do that, it might break this, it might, there's all sorts of stuff that it can do unintentionally which will cause damage beyond what it's meant to be there to do.
It's been programmed for all that. It just needs to learn how you obviously. No, okay.
I think it may have basic things like obviously don't kill people. you know, or this, that, and the other. Don't drop anything, don't, you know, or throw anything about. But you know, there's going to be, everybody's house is different. Everybody's got their little things in their house that they have a certain way, or they do a certain way, or you know, and just getting a robot to learn all of those things. It's just like teaching a little toddler.
The AI is equipped with it. The robot is equipped with AI, so it will basically know this. It just
Well,
needs
no,
to know what you do. It just needs.
I don't think it will. No, Viv. I think it has. All that means it has the capacity to learn. That's all. So
Yeah,
that's
that's right.
fine. But it takes time and effort to do that, just like a little child.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
okay. Then
of
so how
course.
long do you give it? Okay, then so let's say you're right, but let's say that you've had that robot for 10 years. You know, I'm going to say that it has a much faster capacity than humans. So give it 10 years, and every robot will beat up its owner. Like you're saying, it has a limit or limitations, but I don't think when you're self-learning, there is no limitations. It may take
Why would it
quicker
beat
or
up
longer.
its owner? Why would it beat up its owner?
Let's say because, well, all I'm saying is, are you saying that there's a limitation to what it can learn? Because I would say that you know, day one, okay, you're right, but day 365, it knows everything that could happen in your house.
Well, I would say there's a limitation to what it can learn, but probably for what it's designed to do, then it's fine. You know, you don't need a limitation for that, because the limitations would lie far beyond that. But that doesn't matter, because you don't need that for it to function, to do what it's meant to do. If it's meant to do just cleaning and housework, then it doesn't. You know, it's going to have limitations eventually, but just to cover all of those tasks, it's going to be fine. It won't have, you know, those limitations won't apply.
You two are both going to have to watch the Marvel film Ultron, I think. I'm going to have to give you the homework of watching the film Ultron, which is all about an AI computer, and it's all the superhero world. But yeah, and maybe I am too far down that world. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a comic book 4D, you know.
I know. You'll be amazed the amount of truth or scientific proof there is in those
I know.
early.
I mean, I'm on board with that. I mean, science fiction. There's an awful lot of stuff, you know, real stuff which comes out of science fiction, but it's still fiction at the end of the day. You know, you can't really say that you treat it as reality until it's
Well, George Orwell wrote science fiction, although, of course, in the literary canon, he's considered a literary writer, but he wrote science fiction as well. He wrote 1984, which is a classic of science fiction.
I wouldn't really call that science fiction
at all.
Yeah,
You wouldn't? Okay. I'll call it speculative fiction then. He speculates, but an awful lot of science fiction is really about speculation about what might happen, what could happen, what's possible, what isn't.
Yeah, going back to the whole process of an AI computer. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of Arthur C. Clarke's ideas have become actual science fact. The whole concept of talking about robots and AI, the whole concept of robotics laid out by Isaac Asimov, the 3 laws of robotics, are actually, you know, taken very, very seriously as a kind of a bedrock in the science of robotics.
Absolutely.
They are kind of, you know, part of science fact now.
But science fiction goes way back. It goes back probably as long as literature existed. People have always speculated. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein is a work of science fiction.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with 4D there. I think, you know, smart people behind what's apparently another chapter in the Marvel franchise. Yeah, fine.
Actually, a really good film as well. Mind you, I love all of them.
Which film is that? Is that the Avengers? Is that the Avengers? Age of Ultron? Is it that one?
Yeah.
I have seen it. Yeah.
It's a really deep idea of an AI computer sort of getting self-aware. It's really cool. Yeah, really cool.
But I kind of know already the path we're on, so I'm just ticking off. Like, yeah, there we go. Ooh, there we go, another one. Ooh, we're on the road. Ooh, there it goes. I mean, we're heading towards a word controlled by AI. I believe that what's happening in my company, and it's a bit slow, but they want to replace us with AI. I think a lot of companies want to do this. A recent survey showed 90% of top CEOs want to replace their staff with AI. A number of companies are doing this, but it goes beyond that. It goes way, way, way beyond AI. AI is just part of the prism that's been constructed, the panopticon, the all-seeing eye.
I know what you're saying, Viv, but I'm not all doom and gloom about it. I don't like to go full black pill about AI. It can also be an incredibly good thing. It can actually also lead to a life of freedom, complete freedom for humanity as well.
It all
depends on how it's used and how it's put into place. So there's always another side to it. It's not all kind of 1984 and
I'm not being doom or gloom. It will lead to a life of freedom. Of course it will, and it's all planned for us. You have to see that the basically the direction of travel set out in the Agenda 2030. We won't need.
But that's not the only force at work here, Viv. That seems to be that seems to be set now, as that's how you see things going. That's your
that's our one biggest difference. Yeah, I think that's one biggest difference for me and Viv is that I'm the other side of what Viv. I truly believe it's all going to be flowery and lovely in the future because of but genuinely, and Viv still thinks we're going to be controlled.
We'll be free. I'm saying we'll be free. It will be flowery and lovely.
You sound you did sound like you were being sarcastic. Sorry.
No. We won't need to work.
But that's a weird one as well. No, because we're getting on, and I don't want to go into that one. That's another deep storyline. I was going to say, I don't think we're meant to not work. Freedom is a funny old thing. I haven't worked for a long time, and as I say to you guys, my biggest depression comes from not having anything to do.
Look at it this way. 4D, right? If everyone could do, if you had a job doing, if work to you was doing something that you really enjoyed doing, it wouldn't seem like work, but it would still be fulfilling. And it would still serve the same positive function as a job. It would keep you occupied, give you a sense of purpose. But you'd be doing something that you really enjoy doing, and you'd probably be very good at it. So imagine everybody doing that.
If you all watched my show, I would be doing this 24/7. You'd give me something to do. So please tell your friends and family to.
Exactly. Yeah. All we need to do is prepare for this. Prepare for what's coming.
True. And I've been doing that in my way.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
Viv, you could have a very nice, comfortable life and devote all your time to writing.
I know. I love it. I know.
And be reimbursed for it. You wouldn't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to pay any bills.
There's a downside. But it'll be all right. There's
always a there's always a downside. But
I know.
Not everyone's going to be happy. Yeah, there's always going to be people that are not satisfied.
There are ways to deal with those people. It's all right. When the crash inevitably happens, we will be put onto a central bank digital currency linked to social credit. So we'll be paid that way. When AI takes over most jobs and robotics takes over most jobs, and they're doing this already, we can see that in things like Amazon warehouses. Robotics are advancing at an incredible rate. There are delivery vehicles now. We have automated drones, which are fed by robots. So we won't have any jobs. What we will have is universal credit, which will be paid by the state after hard cash is abolished. Universal credit depends on compliance, so you can have credits given to you, but the credits will be taken away if you don't comply. Yes, so as long as you comply, it'll be all right.
No, you do think we're good. No. You think that we're going to be controlled by the deep state then?
Yeah, you're blackpilling again, Viv.
Yeah, you're not. You said no. I think it's going to be fun. That doesn't sound fun to anyone.
As long as you comply.
No, yeah, right. So you definitely think it's going the other way. The deep state.
You think we are inevitably going to end up in a 1984 style scenario? 15-minute cities, social credit score, no freedom. We're going to be slaves, basically.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so you definitely think the opposite to me.
Yeah.
well. I'm only looking at directions of travels and reality. Really, it's the fourth industrial revolution, and it's only just started.
Well, yeah. I mean, I suppose not everyone's reality is the same, and we're talking about possibilities and assumptions based on our own.
Isn't
reality.
everyone?
I've got to say,
4D has a much more positive outlook because he believes in the Q plan. You see?
Yeah, I was going to say
his projected scenario is a lot more positive than that because he thinks that a lot of good is going to happen because of Q.
My projected scenario is very optimistic as well.
I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest. If I believed what you believed, I would have probably given up the fight by now. Because
you can't do that. You can't do that.
Well, genuinely, if that to me that sounds like end of game. So there's no point in me.
Yeah. So
that's why we mustn't comply.
Yeah. So I mean, you're still prepared to fight against it. I mean, your proposal,
of course.
Hold on. Your proposal is to set up a parallel society.
Yeah.
So
correct.
So
correct.
Okay. So there's your solution. So maybe we're not going to end up in a social credit score. Maybe we will end up in a parallel society, which will actually be really good for everyone.
Yes.
But you don't seem to have much faith in it. You don't seem to have much faith in it because you seem to say
I've got total faith in humanity.
Well, humanity is part of what's taken us down the path we're going.
Well, that's very pessimistic. People have gotten over all sorts of terrible things. We survived awful things. We can do this.
I don't know. I'm getting mixed messages here.
Yeah. I don't know which way we're going here. Like, anyway.
I'm just saying that this is the direction of travel that they're pushing us in. They are the controllers. It is going to fail, I believe. It's not going to work, but it needs a big push from humanity to stop this, to not comply. And I say to start building parallel systems, which are happening everywhere. People are awake to this, and they have to know that we are not going to comply, whatever they do.
That's a given for me. Yeah, that's a given.
Good.
I've just got that rebellious streak anyway, so fuck you all.
I've got good for you. I've got a totally rebellious streak. I'm setting forth what the plan looks like it's heading towards. Whether it gets there or not, I don't know. I mean, we're both saying speculative things. We're both working on assumptions and saying saying that a higher force that we're not quite sure who it is. It could be a computer. It could be a group of people or a person is going to save us. I'm saying only us, glorious, beautiful humanity can save ourselves, and we've always done this.
I would say, slightly adjust that. It's not so much a higher force, a computer, or whatever a group of people is going to save us, but they're going to help us to save ourselves. They're going to aid.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I like that. The
term "where we go one, we go all," I think, is one of my sort of binding things to it. It's the idea that we are together on this. We're not going in different directions. It's the idea that's how we change this. So I think, funnily enough, all three of us tend to be roughly in the same place. I think we just see it in completely different ways, and describe it. For a start, for a minute there, I thought you were completely doomed and gloomed out, but
no, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not. This what I'm setting out, with a touch of irony, of course, and sarcasm, as usual. I'm sorry to, is part of my, part of my thing is to be sort of cold, be sarcastic. Is this is what the controllers want? Whether they get it or not is a different matter. People are now in Ipswich, and Blade Runners are cutting down shit all everywhere. This will only increase. People in Ipswich are starting to do this, and this is the slowest bloody county, as far as I know, apart from perhaps down southwest. It's the slowest county in England. We're very slow to catch on, but people are now acting against the controlling devices, the cameras, etc., etc. You know, more and more people are waking up that this is a proto 15-minute city, and they are building it slowly but surely, as I showed you when you came down here. You saw the portal, you saw the screens that are going up, you saw the cameras,
crazy.
You know, you saw the face recognition software, you saw the streets blocked off. They're doing it. They're doing it. And they're doing it very cleverly. They're doing it very, very cleverly.
Yeah.
You know,
but, I mean,
I was going to say this about 15 minutes ago, but we went off again. We've reached our time limit, and we've missed your reading stuff. And
don't worry about that. Don't worry. Yeah, I mean, I've just got.
I think it's time for Viv's bookshelf. What are you reading this week?
Yeah, I'm just very quickly. Then I've just
Yeah.
I've got the shelves. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
quickly. The famous Barbara O'Neill I've got her book now. It arrived this week. It's called Sustain Me. It's a handbook of natural remedies, and it's got the 9 foundational pillars for health.
Excellent. How much did you pay for that?
Tenner.
Wow, excellent.
Yeah, Barbara O'Neill. It can be expensive. I rather think this is a copy. I'm not sure, but it looks okay. But the original copies, I think it's going to cost you a lot more. Also, highly recommend Hulda, Hulda Clark, The Cure for All Diseases. She is coming out with very odd stuff, but this is the book if you want to know about parasites.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, that Barbara O'Neill book is one I would not mind owning. I think that sounds like a very useful book. I've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. No, I think actually maybe it costs a bit more than the tenner, but no more than 12 quid. Which I thought, okay, all right, let's go for this.
I have seen it being priced a lot more than that. Talking maybe 40, 50 quid for that book. So that's that's pretty good. You got a good deal there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but that's it basically. Yeah, it's really. I mean, bloody hell, so far so good. Barbara O'Neill. Barbara O'Neill. Sustain Me. It's a handbook of natural remedies. It's essentially, as the blurb says on the back, the intent of the book is to regain control of your health and learn to work with the natural healing forces God created to maintain equilibrium and prevent disease. The body and the body only has the power to heal, and it will if given the right conditions. Backed by decades of research and practice, Barbara O'Neill shares these simple 9 foundational health pillars that form the acronym Sustain Me. It's not about quick fix solutions. It's about lifestyle changes designed to give your body all it needs for optimal health and the opportunity to enjoy life. Barbara O'Neill died in mysterious circumstances. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Yeah, she passed away not that long ago, I believe. Suspicious circumstances. I mean, the sort of stuff she's putting out there wouldn't surprise me if it was suspicious, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. It's something that the industrial pharma complex is not going to like.
No. So, are we still talking about Tommy Cooper this week?
Oh,
well, I was going to say, do you mind if we miss that and just go to your jokes? It's because I've got a phone call that I've got to make. That's all.
Yeah, it's getting late. It's getting late. I do apologise for.
No, it's all right.
As well.
It's the great thing. We end up talking. Like I had loads of things down here that I wanted to talk about that we haven't spoke about at all, and it's cool. We end up, I like. That's why I like our conversations. I never know where it's going to go.
I know. It's great that it's unscripted, isn't it?
Yeah. I had a couple of things I wouldn't mind talking about, but another time.
Yeah, me too. Let's move on.
I think you were going to look up for some Tommy Cooper jokes, weren't you?
Me? No, I didn't. I did. Oh, Bronski, right.
All right. No, I didn't look up any Tommy Cooper jokes, but I thought Viv was going to do that, but I can do for next time.
Sorry, everyone. Oh dear, it's been a bad But
I'll be honest with you, Viv, you're
yeah.
not here for your joke telling.
No, I know.
Yeah. Okay. Someone stole my mood ring. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yes.
Today, I took my 5-year-old daughter to work with me. When we were leaving, she started crying. My boss asked her why she was crying, and she says, "I was here all day, and I never got to see the clown my daddy said he works for."
Oh, oh. That's good.
Here's a topical one. The World Cup is on at the moment. A man takes his seat at the World Cup final. He looks over and notices there's an extra seat in between himself and the next guy. Man says, "There's an empty seat. Who would ever miss the World Cup final?" The guy replies, "Well, that was my wife's seat. We've been to the last 5 World Cup finals together, but sadly she passed away." Man says, "That's terrible. Couldn't you get another close family member to come with you?" Guy says, "No, they're all at her funeral."
Aye. 3 out of 3. 3 out of 3
really?
so
Oh,
far.
thank you, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This cowboy walks into a German car showroom and says, "Howdy."
Oh.
Delayed reaction.
Yeah, 4 out of 4, mate.
Oh, really? Oh, getting marked now.
Yeah,
A
no, not really.
kid asked his dad, "My English teacher says it's important to have a good vocabulary. Is that true?" And his dad says, "Absolutely, son. For example, if I'd have known the difference between the words antidote and anecdote, your mother would still be alive today." What's blue and smells like red paint?
No.
Blue
Dunno.
paint.
Right, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
What do you say to someone who recently graduated with a degree in philosophy?
Why?
A double espresso and a cappuccino, please.
Oh, you're on a roll, mate.
Thank you very much. What do you call a guy with 2 hands and 3 balls?
A juggler.
Yep.
Oh,
What do you call a guy with 3 hands and 5 balls?
A naked juggler.
No, inbred.
right, yeah.
And finally, what's the difference between a hormone and a peptide?
Go on.
I've never heard of peptide. Oh, tumbleweed.
I'm working it out. Do you get that, 40?
No, I was going to say you might have to say that again then.
I'm not going to repeat it. You're going to have to listen back to it if you want.
I'll get it on the listen back. Yeah, I always get them. The ones that I don't get, I listen back and I go, "Oh, why didn't you get that?"
Yeah, I know.
I won't tell you it, but I'll repeat it. What's the difference between a hormone and a peptide? I've never heard of peptide.
Oh,
Oh,
I get you. Yeah.
okay.
I've never heard the other one either, but sorry, go on.
Oh, that's it. That's your lot. Oh,
Yeah,
Very nice, Ron.
very nice.
Have you ever considered becoming a stand-up comedian using
absolutely not.
Existing material? But good
Absolutely
existing
not.
material.
Steal everyone
No.
else's jokes. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. Well, there might be a future in that. I don't know.
Well, just remember, it's all shits and giggles until someone giggles and shits.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Until I get you two in the front row constantly heckling me.
Indeed.
Yeah. That time I threw carrots at the stage and was followed by security for the rest of the evening at the comedy club in Camden.
Did that really happen?
Really?
Yeah, it really did. I went there I was going there for a company evening out. I just thought we'd be sitting around chatting. The first bad sign came when we sat down. We saw it's the comedy club. There's a stage there. We're up there. And the food came around. Great. I'm looking forward to the food. What was the food? It was bits of vegetables and dips. Vegetables and dips. Yeah. I looked at this. I said, well, is this it? Is this the food? So I took a handful, and the comedian was shit. And okay, all right, drink had been taken. And I went down to the side of the stage and started throwing carrot sticks at the comedian. Yeah. I thought that was allowed, but maybe I'm being a bit sort of 16th century Shakespearean when people used to throw rock, you know. And and then the whole evening I was followed by people. He's there. He's gone back to his seat. I can hear them talking with their microphones. He's gone back to his seat. He sat down now with the party. Oh, he's gone down to the stage again. No, he's come back. He ain't got no carrots. So, yeah, but then again, you know, I thought we were allowed to do all that.
No, I don't think you are. Yeah.
I think you're allowed to throw verbals, but nothing physical.
No, well, it's only carrot sticks, mate. It's not going to.
You don't know you don't know the dangers of carrot sticks.
Have
you never seen the Monty Python sketch? How to defend yourself against a man attacking you with a fruit?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course. All right. Fair play. Fair play to you. Yeah.
Listen. You do it every time. We're rambling on again. I'm gonna say good night, and I'm gonna leave you two to it. I think.
I think
we're all out of here. Bless you both. Have a wonderful week, and we'll speak next week. And not weekend. What am I talking about? Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good one.